Alrighty guys, welcome back to having a look at the shrine again with Fungoose. So we can currently see we have Streetwise here, which is a level 40 unlockable perk by Nia. We have Alert, which is a level 40 unlockable perk by Feng Min. We have Brutal Strength, which is a Trapper perk unlocked at level 40 as well, and we have Spirit's Fury, which is a Spirit perk unlocked. Okay, so we're going to go into a little bit of details here. Streetwise is an okay perk, okay? It allows you to reduce the consumption rate of items that are used by you and by allies around you. Much like other perks like Vigil, it is an aura around you like Leader. However, it does affect your stealth as well as the other players around. Now, if I'm running a toolbox, there are 3 add-ons that are notable on a toolbox for repairing. Okay, so say I have a Commodious toolbox, which is a green one, which repairs 15% quicker. The Socket Swivel will then give me an additional 30 charges. The Instructions will then slow down consumption rate. And then you have the Socket Swivel will give me 5% faster work. The Wire Spool will give me 30 extra charges. And the Instructions will slow down the rate of which is consumed. Having this pretty much is the equivalent of running Instructions, but a little bit better. So technically, if I was running Streetwise, and I was running the Wire Spool and the Socket Swivel, I technically have 3 add-ons on my toolbox that'll be working really well. The toolbox will last 4 generators at least. If it was a Commodious, you could probably do every single Jenny in the game, or 5 if you've got an ally with you as well. That being said, it's just going to allow you to keep a lot of pressure on work 20% quicker. How much is 20% of a Jenny? Well, Jennies are done in 80 seconds, providing you're landing every skill check against Ruin. Therefore, 10% of 80 is 8. 20% is 16. You're going to do Jenny 16% quicker, therefore a generator is going to be done at a much faster rate. Say you land 4 grates, it's now going to be done 20 seconds quicker. So you can do a Jenny in 60 seconds, 64 seconds, depending on how your grates are going, as opposed to doing it in 80 seconds. That gives you 16 seconds of moving time, getting to another generator, doing anything else, and that's providing you're working yourself. If you have an ally, you can make those numbers drop down incredibly as well. The Streetwise isn't a very commonly used perk because, like I said, it increases how long you can use items, whether that be a map, a key, looking at killers' auras, a flashlight. It's not great. There's better options. You want a long flashlight, you run extra batteries, you know? You want a good map? You would probably really want to run open-handed instead. You know, there are other options on the table, and you can run add-ons to make your map last longer as well. But, all in all, it's a Nia perk unlocked at level 40. It's not bad. Would I recommend getting it? Probably not. Moving on to the next perk, this is Alert. Alert is very good for a new player, and even some of the advanced and experienced players in Dead by Daylight still run this perk. From time to time, I might chuck it on. About a year ago, it got a buff where it used to be a 32-meter tear radius around you, or the killer had to be within 32 meters of you, breaking a pallet or breaking a generator to reveal their location with a cooldown. Currently, it is different. Whenever a killer does a break animation, whether that be a pallet or kicking a generator, their aura will be revealed for you for 3 seconds. Much like Objective Obsession, you're going to be able to see them, but they're not going to be able to see you. So if I throw a pallet down and the killer breaks the pallet, I can then wait on the corner and see if he tries to come to the right-hand side or come through, and then move my pathing in accordance. However, I could also be working on a Jenny and see he's kicking a Jenny ages away. It's Michael Myers with a very small heartbeat, and I don't have to worry because I know which direction he's pathing in. It can work very well for looping. It can work very well for situational awareness. It has no range. It covers the entire board. If you are struggling with pressure and not knowing where the killer is, this is strongly one of the best perks in the game for me to recommend to you. Much better than Spine Chill or Premonition in my personal experience and opinion, and it's going to help you become better at looping. With enough time, dedication, and experience, very seldomly will you be caught off guard unless you're versing a Dead Rabbit, Modern Abuse, Michael Myers on the game, for example, or Larry's Institute. Then you can get caught off guard. But all in all, Alert's very good for understanding and learning the mechanics of how the killer moves if you are a survivor main. The next perk here is Brutal Strength. Now, Brutal Strength will break a pallet at 10, 15, and 20% quicker, depending on the tier. By the way, that is 3, 4, and 5 seconds of reveal. Okay, so what is good about this? If you're running around with a survivor and you manage to build Bloodlust, keep in mind, I always recommend never chasing someone for 15 seconds without getting anything out of them, whether being a pallet or anything. If you do build Bloodlust, you need to take the pallet stun, break the pallet, either get him down or rotate. I strongly recommend rotation according to, obviously, where that guy is on the map. If he's near the shack, if he's near a really good jungle gym, if he has still really good windows to utilize, I'd recommend definitely rotating away. Brutal Strength is an okay perk. Its counterpart is Enduring. Enduring recently suffered a nerf. It was 75% pallet stun, so you could take a pallet stun and then break it, as opposed to you could take a pallet stun and break it, as opposed to Brutal Strength, which is when you come back from a pallet, you respect it, you kick it down. Now, I had tested the times. With Enduring at 75% dagger recovery, you could walk into a pallet, take the stun and break it, and if you respected the pallet and broke it with Brutal Strength, you would be 0.5 seconds slower with Enduring than you would be with Brutal Strength. But you would be guaranteeing the pallet. To guarantee the pallet for 0.5 seconds is a very good investment for me, in any opinion. I do not recommend Brutal Strength unless you have something to enhance your movement speed. I'm not talking a Wraith Cloaked moving at 126%. If you're a Wraith Cloaked with additional movement speed and you break pallets, I wouldn't even recommend Brutal or Enduring. You could fill that up with Make Your Choice for map presence when you come back to the hook, or Barbecue and Chili for situational awareness. But what I'm trying to talk about here is I would recommend this on Leatherface, because my Leatherface, I run Play With Your Food to be a counterpart. When Leatherface revs his chainsaw, he slows down. With Play With Your Food, I pretty much have the equivalent of award-winning Chili, and if I let go and I still have stacks, I have the equivalent of Beast Marks as well, providing I don't even have the add-ons. It does stack with the add-ons too, so very seldomly would I recommend Brutal. You could run it on Michael Myers, like I said, if you had Mono and Abuse and a Dead Rabbit in tier 2, 16 meter heartbeat down to an 8 meter heartbeat down to a 6 meter heartbeat with Brutal Strength. You're going to catch a lot of people off guard. I don't recommend it though. There are better options, much being Enduring. And now this final perk goes hand in hand with Enduring. Did suffer a bit of a nerf in incorporation due to the fact Enduring did. Now Enduring is when you get pallet stunned, you look at the ground and you recover quicker. This perk is when you are pallet stunned, the pallet breaks. So when Enduring was 75%, you'd break the pallet 75%, you'd break it almost instantly, be able to walk through an M1 the Survivor. Now you only break it 50%, giving a 0.25 or 25% faster recovery time for the Survivor to get to another pallet, to get to a window. So it does help survivors a bit. Realistically, Enduring and Spirit's Fury was a busted combo. You need to break 4 pallets at tier 1, 3 pallets at tier 2, and 2 pallets at tier 3. So that's actually pretty easy, especially if you're someone like the Hillbilly and you're chainsawing around the map. You find a guy, he throws a pallet, you take the stun, you break the pallet, you follow him, you get another pallet, you take the pallet and you rotate. Now you find Jeff's running a jungle gym, you lunge to M1 Jeff, so you hit Jeff, he throws a pallet, you walk through your M1 him again. Alternatively, you lunge to hit Jeff, he throws a pallet down, you don't hit him, then you chainsaw him. You have so many plausible options, therefore, in my opinion, is one of the best perks in the game for the Hillbilly. Can work well on the Spirit too if you're using phasing in small doses, but then you need Enduring, and now you're missing out on Barbecue, Make Your Choice, you know, all this kind of situational awareness you could have possibly had with a proper build. Pop Goes the Weasel, maybe Ruin, maybe Devour Hope, maybe Horn of Ground. So, all in all, it isn't a bad shrine. I would recommend buying Alert if you're a Survivor main, 100%, or even if you think you're going to touch Survivor. It's very, very good for learning and understanding the ropes. Brutal Strength, you're probably going to level up Trapper anyways. I'd take a hot pass on this, providing I was leveling up the Billy for Enduring. If I wasn't leveling up the Billy for Enduring, I would probably buy this as well. And finally, Spirit's Fury. Well, it comes from the Spirit herself. If you don't own the DLC, strongly recommend getting this one as well, and it is a fantastic perk because it allows you to break a pallet while being stunned. Therefore, you know, survivors can only defend themselves with generally pallets or windows, and if they run out of pallets, they're going to be in a sticky situation, especially if you have an instant injure. That is a very good one for an intermediate to an expert killer, and even if you think you're not at that skill level yet, that you still have the room for improvement, it can still be very, very good. You'll see it take effect, and it's going to really put a lot of pressure on. There's nothing better than breaking a pallet, and then going into a pallet and you just took 3 pallets out in 10 seconds and then rotate. That just made a massive dead zone in the center of the map or in the corner of the map or whatever. Just be sure you're doing it around objectives or around an exit gate or around the center of the map. Don't get pulled to a corner of the map where all jetties are done and there's no exit gate. Yeah, be smart about your placement, your pathing, and your rotation. How many people are full health, how many people are hurt, etc. So guys, that's going to be all for the shrine this week. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to jump over to my live Twitch channel where these beautiful people are waiting for me. Alright. Thank you guys.